welcome to episode 5 of Surviving Nairobi, season 5. 5.
5 lucky charm.
Like, imagine one of you who's listening to this episode, I get lucky in more ways than one. Haha. Kama kawaida, it's Safari with
Ivy and
which Rimbui, because you got confused. Let's see.
Tim.
Yes.
High five.
Teamwork makes the dream work.
Teamwork.
Hey.
Brother.
Unani expose kwa podcast by the way. As in mimi nataka kuwa mysterious. Please, angalia vile nyanyaswa. Please observe and see how minorities being oppressed. Malcolm X didn't die for this.
We only know one Rendile in my life. Rendile, as my teacher used to call me.
Rendile.
Anyway, we have a very dope guest in the studio, Leo. Mr. Tim Rimbui, innovator himself, teamwork, ENC talent, as in, uko na majina mingi, uko na more AKAs than me, allegedly. So, nataka ujiintroduce formally. Who is Tim Rimbui?
It sounds like a wash. Okay. My name is Tim Rimbui. I am happy to be here. Thank you guys.
Tumeomoka.
Mimi nasikia tu utamu kwa roho.
And I've done many things, but I started off as church keyboard player, and I became a music producer. Then that opened the doors to everything else. I'm always hustling, so
Unataka kushika pesa.
Ai kabisa.
Karatasi ndio muhimu.
Kabisa. So music opened the door to different things. So
that's what you are.
Yeah. So currently I have a production company, an audiovisual production company. That's also like an agency of sorts. And then now we have a talent management firm. Talent management. Tutaongea.
Imagine as in
See God.
By the please mita commission hapa hivi.
See God.
Mita 1.5%.
So I think the talent management was just it's something I fell into because I had a small label. Then from there on, because of a label, it's not only just making beats, it's just making sure the artist gets paid, all those things. So from there now people start calling me, oh yeah, can you help me with this? Can you help me with this contract? Can you? And then ironically it was not even musicians, it was non-musicians, a photographer, whatever, a script writer. So I was like, let me make this formal. Yeah. And then a big brand called me. They're like, "Oh, Niaje, we want you to do some work for us." Shout out to Safaricom, they're my first client. So, imagine
hizo pesa zile za fuliza.
First
paying him.
My first client was like, shit. This thing is serious. So
we'll start at the top of the mountain. As in
being at the right place at the right time and just being confident.
That's true.
Confidence is key.
But also being team is,
being team.
It helps.
Being team is key.
Being team helps.
Yeah, being team
now,
is key.
before you go too far,
Cool.
Oh yeah.
There are a few things.
Feel free.
First of all, get me to 1,000 followers on IG. Msisahau hiyo. 1,000 followers on Instagram. Na kama imefika, endelea tu. Mimi, I'm not stopping at 1,000. Let's break those barriers. Number 2, if you're watching on YouTube, like, share, subscribe. Hizo vitu zote mzuri. Bado nimesota. So hapo chini kwa namba fulani, donate, support the podcast, all that good shit.
Tumeamka kuteseka leo.
Hey, la haula.
Support them, it's very interesting.
Yes. Kuna match, if you want to buy, if you want to look good. Who doesn't want to look good?
Nobody.
No, exactly. Kutaka hapo, kutaka kuteka ule mamboga pale mtaani. Buy the match, utakuwa fiti.
Oh, by the way, hata mimi na drop match yangu very soon.
Aish.
But via surviving. Via or via?
Via.
It's via.
Miss Cooper attention to English.
Via surviving.
No, I'm messing with you.
What the hell?
Because you're sorry you're playing with us.
Walk out. Get out.
Via.
It's via surviving Nairobi. I will post the first design on Surviving Nairobi's page and then on my page after.
Awesome.
Because Surviving Nairobi is
ukienda Yanos lazima ukae fiti.
Lazima ukae fiti. Hata hiyo hata si Yanos pekee, ni just like you're every day looking cool, unataka tu kukaa umeoga,
ukitaka kuwateka na kuwatoka.
Exactly. I need to write that down.
Inaitwa Get and Ghost.
G&G.
Yeah,
ina sound kama vaccine.
If you don't, get the hell out of here.
Please.
So that's also going to be coming. I partnered with Mwadzame, so it's definitely something really
Season 2 episode 9. Shout out to Omar Mwadzame. Go listen to that. Kama unataka kujua more about him and what he does. Tim, I have a question for you.
Yes.
As a talent manager, and you've been in this game for what, 2 decades?
Officially this year is 20 years.
20 years.
Unofficially I started in 96.
96?
Damn, nigga.
That's the first time someone paid me.
Wow, unajua kuna watu wa stay podcast wako live 96.
Of course.
Goodness, niggas is old.
Well,
But think about it. Between you and I, Nanyata Udizo. He looks older, bro.
oh, look
I'm being age shamed, by the way. I'm being age shamed, and I don't feel comfortable anymore.
You're being
This face-
shamed by someone who has clothes older than you.
Oh.
You know what? I might as well leave.
I thought you're young. You should be Nini. Look on the drone, Nini, Matusi.
My man, maisha mimi ni millennial. Maisha imeniwear down kabisa. Unajua
Yeah.
when ni Gen X, wewe ulikula pesa ya
Not Gen
NOS.
X. I'm a first generation of millennial.
Ah, we.
Ah.
Msanii kaka
81. That's what they told
Because
us.
it's 47 on top of millennials.
Wow, dude.
Anyway, Tim.
I deserve that.
Anyway, Tim, there's a very
Yes.
important question to ask you.
Yeah.
Like you've been in the game.
I want to manage you. Cut it out.
Like everybody ukienda kucheka walo manage.
Lose even before we get to you. Come on, steal your money.
Allegations of as in fraud already. Kabla hata contract isainiwe kuna fraud.
Acha kabla tujue tunaanzaje.
Already tunasikia mambo ya fraud.
Wow.
Guy,
Wow.
if you're listening to this now ni creative team afanya hivyo kila mtu just hivi.
Yeah, I just started
I
doing
thank God
some
I thank God kuna audience yenye mesikiza. I have witnesses.
Fraud.
In case of
Tutakuibia
anything,
pesa.
I was recorded.
Yes.
My lawyer will just say like,
Yo, defamation Z.
All those things umesema ziko on record by the way zinaendelea. Anyway, Mazi, let me get to my question. As somebody who's been in the game for this long, work, so many people, what's the one mistake that creatives make that they don't know they're making?
Oh yeah, very good question.
I think the biggest, at least if I could use my life and what I've seen, because I've worked with everything and everyone.
That's why you're here.
I think it is not realizing how short your moment in the sun is. But that way I mean how, like you're hot right now, kuna some attention, maybe people are giving you some money.
Yeah.
I think the biggest mistake is not realizing how short that time is.
Oh, okay. Like
Because you think because now or you're invited for parties, people are giving you some cash, it will last, right? But those 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5, if you are very lucky, they go like this.
when you say too fulani.
And then what happens?
Wetu
How
ni-
do you pay your bills?
Oh, okay.
If maybe this is the only thing that you are doing, maybe you have a person, you have a child. In
Wow.
that time, how do you?
Cope.
And how do they cope? Like, is there like something you would advise them to do?
I think now that's a larger conversation to get there.
We
I
have
think
time.
You asked me what's the I think that for me that's the mistake that I see a lot of people making.
Yeah. It's more
Yeah.
like when artists are like unapata hit song
Yes.
and then you think sawa this is size when nimefika sasa, and then you start posting off that one thing
yeah.
and then you don't follow it up.
You don't follow it up, or maybe you get a very big bag from that thing, and by talent I'm expanding it. See, you could have a dope podcast, you
Right,
guys. You
right.
could be a DJ, a
Right.
photographer, a filmmaker, anything.
Yeah.
You're making memes now. I mean, Safaricom advertised for someone to make memes. When
What?
was it last year or the year before?
Yeah.
For real?
I saw that. Yeah.
Some had like a position of meme maker.
Yes.
Yeah. And they're not the first corporation.
And they're not the first. So maybe
God bless the internet.
God
Yeah.
bless the internet.
That guy for the Ugali, you see,
Oh, I met him.
yeah.
Yeah.
So right now you see we're in the age of before it was information, before there was iron bronze age nini. Right now it's
Very
attention.
digital. Yeah.
Forget digital, it's attention. Your currency is attention, right? So you and some things can just, of course, for a lot of people it will take time, but there's a lot more people who are getting a big bag, or their lives are changing from something like interesting that they've
That's
put
true.
online.
Yeah.
Could be a stylist, nini.
Oh yeah.
But then it's now ukifika hapo, whether you took a shortcut or you've taken time and you're at the top.
Then
Now
Written,
what?
Yeah.
Now what?
like so shida yao ni people get there and then don't realize like there's an after here.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
strategy.
There's many things like how do I maintain it if it was a flukes niliangukia hii kitu.
What next?
What next? If it has been 4 or 5 years coming, what next?
But I feel like if you've been like 4 or 5 years like
Or 10, like
yeah, even
I
10.
mean, and I'll use 2 examples. Nyashinsky and Naiboy. Those guys had careers that were past a decade in the
Right.
making before they became.
Who
Do you know
they
how
are.
patient you have to be?
Naibo alikuwa itangwaje? Jiko.
Rap.
Damu.
Rafdamu. Yeah, I remember
For
now.
13 years.
He was Rafdamu for so
Yeah.
long.
Rap
Dude, you know, you must believe in yourself to
Ah,
do-
You call yourself rap damu kwanza.
Kwanza.
No, guys,
And not give up for 10 years.
No,
then
I like
and
Naiboy,
still
but-
continue.
Mm.
Nani Arrow Boy was selling fish at Nini City Market.
Aroboy moja.
Arrow Boy.
The power of perseverance.
So I think but then you see now the same place with like now cartoon comedian or
Yeah.
Oh, like guys who just like walipost video moja.
Aziad, where you're
Crazy
just
Kenna.
Crazy Kenna, where your billings they might not be much difference, but the market, you see, at the end of the day, the market is what determines that you're meant to be paid.
Right.
Actually,
Which is why you see a lot of my generation guys are upset. They hate you guys because they're like, "Phew, us guys have worked." Everyone has.
you know you can't hate don't hate the player, hate the
But-
game.
Hate the game,
Hate the
yeah.
game.
But and I see now that's like a larger conversation. So whether you've come recently, you did 2, 3, you guys blow up, or someone else, you are now back. We are both now at the top. Now to go up, we are both beaming. How do we maintain it? That's the first thing. Do you want to maintain it? Ama to secure that big bag that came and we're out, we've gone back to our regular jobs. And attention and money come with more problems that you don't even know.
Usiseme hivyo. Sasa na pesa na niko na shida. Sasa
Attention,
nikipata pesa.
attention, and I've been honored and privileged to either come by a lot of money or also to be around a lot of people who come through a lot of money because of their skill. And me can tell you, sometimes some guys should have just stayed broke.
Yeah.
Jeez, what a statement. Wow.
Yo!
Mpaka hivi ana dance. If you're listening, hivi ana dance.
Everyone knows whether you're my first boss's age, those are the guys who are looking at 60, or the
Whoa.
younger guys who are working with you. May I just speak very plainly? I call things as they are. So that sounded like trash talk.
So
I mean,
okay,
like,
you don't have to name
it's-
names.
no,
Can you
it's
give us an
true.
example of
like
an
and-
experience
and
of somebody who's
everyone is like,
broke?
oh, I want. Of course, like, there's no way I can mention a name.
Yeah.
But there's people who are ruined by, it's not even the amount of money, but the attention. Attention comes with a lot of free shit.
Yeah.
It comes with, if you're a dude, a lot of guys throwing themselves at you.
Yeah.
Rendile.
Wait, relax. Man.
Rendile.
Mini exotic.
That's such a nice name.
Missy minority, mini exotic.
Mr.
Please.
Rendile.
Mini exotic.
Or yeah.
Wow. It's so weird to hear
So-
like mtu amekuwa in the game for that long akwambia hii kitu itakumaliza.
But you know, attention is a drug.
Attention is, and then also forget
It is a
even
drug.
the money. Attention has a way of, it's more addictive than drugs, like
Yeah.
than booze and coke than whatever. How do you sustain? Kama uliangukia hii kitu.
Yeah.
So now that's why it becomes, because there's who you are and what you do. But
Yeah.
if
That's true.
you understand, there's what you do that got you there, but there's who you are. Like, if I remove the lights, camera, action, who are you? And then a lot of people end up being defined by what they do.
Yeah.
Actually,
Understand?
that's something I want
It
to
sounds
talk
like kituka therapist and
No, yeah,
anaweza
I know.
sema, but
That's
if your
something I
whole
want to talk about.
identity is the shit that you do, eventually there'll be a problem.
For
I
sure.
feel like
Because if that is removed away from you, like you're no longer hot.
Yeah.
don't you
Time and chances come,
imepita na huko hapo tu.
you're still
Naelewa.
to old glory.
Ni kama, you know the way, what's this guy called? CRISPR. CRISPR had a hit song because of basically that song was because of a meme. Ndovuniku is because it's all because of a meme. Somebody had that song and was like, siwezi peleka mtoi wangu KU nitakata. And that's it, you have a hit song. Now you have a remixed Calligraph. Now you're doing numbers, and then you change your name to Ndovuku. I've never understood that logic, because what's his name, Chris brought a Baba years ago, changed his name to Chris Ebaba. I've never understood that. Why do you want to be defined by that one thing peke yake?
But you see, also that's commerce. You want people to identify with the thing that they know. Because especially if you know how hard it is to stay there, you want to be top of mind. Maybe for you just want to grab the bag
and dip.
At the
end of the day, money talks. What?
And plus, it's easier for people to identify. I mean, to identify with what
they're already aware of.
Not even that. I mean that plus also like what gave them the clout or what put them out there. So you see, like Chris Ero, Chris Mbaba, has so many other songs, but like people know him for that one song. So when you're talking about Chris, the gospel artist, like Mgani ule Baba, okay, namjua. So it's easier for him to identify as that.
I heard you guys talking about it. Mariah Carey.
Yeah.
Defrosting right now.
One jam for the last how many years? It's on that.
She's getting paid.
A lot.
But that Christmas song.
That song came out like what, 96?
It came out such a long, but over time.
And you're working back then. You're relaxed.
Provided Dre, Timbaland, Pharrell are still working.
No.
Me and my youngin.
Oh, but then, okay, Dre is like karibu kupata pension.
Wana youth.
Angeko Kenya angekaribia pesa ya wazee.
Ndio wana youth.
Wana youth ndio hawa. Hao ndio wanasema baba cannot enter state house.
Sini toddlers. They are yet to grow up. We are at puberty stage.
Yeah.
Senior Council or Entertainment.
Hey, that's a great title.
Yeah.
Senior Council or Entertainment. Yeah. You've been around. You remember when Benson and Hedges used to sponsor events?
I went for those events. I went for those events. I was young.
I remember watching TV.
Oh my God.
It used to be, I don't know if it was Kanye or what. There used to be an event that was sponsored by Benson and Hedges. And I used to watch the like.
See, that's when Kalamashaka performed.
Yeah.
I used to watch the like, I don't know what TV show it was, but they used to show like the live performances. Afu mimi niko pale tu nimekaa tu kwa sitting room hiki kijana mdogo na cheki tu Benson and Hedges, which is wild because they don't even sell that shit anymore.
Yeah, that company shipped out. It's not here.
But the people who are listening to this are wondering, what the fuck is that Benson and Hedges?
You'll have to Google that shit. Google it.
Especially you are to rural to urban migration.
Wow. Unataka Shagos.
Watu wakukam, watu wakushuka.
Yeah, like you didn't know what Benson and Hedges is.
Vienyeji.
I am not getting into that Kenyeji conversation.
No, but it'll make Vienyejis great again.
No.
MVGA.
So, I was saying. What were we saying?
I can't even remember.
Yeah, you were talking about.
Yeah, actually, there was a question.
Yeah,
there's a question I wanted to ask you. If like past that, now you've talked about the mistake creatives make. Now, what are the ways, for a lot of creatives, especially like, I don't even know what's a media kit. Misuse of it too.
What? Safari, come on.
He tweeted what's a media kit.
I'm like, Safari ungeni text ni kushow.
I'm like this. Google.
I told you. Safari, you don't have to tweet everything. You can just Google. You know that.
Like Twitter is not an extension of your brain.
Here's the thing. I just have fun on Twitter.
Like,
come on.
Like me, I was on Twitter.
Safari saizi, if a certain company reaches out to us and they like send us your media kit as surviving.
That was the whole point. You don't even know what's going on in your house.
Like, you know what? Like,
till I hit him up, I was like, I knew immediately. I saw it. I was like,
I know, like it's all good. The bag is still coming. It's still coming.
I mean,
as you know, like I've brushed my teeth, crossed my eyes, everything is good.
Well,
I can appreciate drink also.
You have to put some music over here.
She doesn't take me seriously. Yeah.
So why did you tell me?
How did you not know there's a media kit?
How did I not know that we don't even have a media kit?
You know you sent a media kit, though?
I didn't send a media kit. I sent a red card.
This podcast is sponsored.
I sent a red card and the bag is coming. So
I know it's sponsored, but
anyway,
people,
so many creatives who don't know so many things. Like they create, but like creating is just one part of now making it. You make something. Now what's next? how do you profit off the things you make? Because some people can just like, when you listen kama kina Aziad, utaenda unengue kiuno TikTok, kesho kutwa msee kuna mtu anakupost Twitter, una trend kidogo like 100k followers, make it.
Same thing na Uncle Waffles. You know what happened with Uncle Waffles?
The DJ.
Uncle Waffles is
Hey, wait, stop laughing.
Excuse me, please.
Me ask questions. I'm like,
this is a colonial man,
kindly. Colonial?
Kindly.
I'm calling this episode a colonial man.
Remote is not working.
A colonial man.
Respect him. Okay? So anyway, this Uncle Waffles.
Relax.
Uncle. I don't know if that's funny or should I be offended. Anyway, so Uncle Waffles is a DJ. She's a South African DJ who has recently popped, and she started DJing during the lockdown, like this second lockdown, yeah. And then she got her first gig by accident. What happened was she attended an event, and the person who was supposed to play didn't show up. Then someone was like, by the way, si ulianza ku DJ juzi, si kama utufanyie mambo basi because mse yetu ametuflick. And while she was performing, someone took a video of her, posted it on socials, on Twitter, TikTok, whatever. She went viral. Worldwide. Like not even in SAPK. So what happened? Durban Gogo, because South Africans really support each other. And we got to that last time when we were talking about like the Amapiano Benetton saga. So South Africans are very supportive of each other. Gogo's like, you know what? You're doing amazing. Let's go on tour. They went on tour. Now this baby is touring. Drake followed her.
Imagine like Drake followed her on IG and she was like, hey, see Amini. Mpaka una search Drake.
Yeah, her life has changed
completely. Now she's getting like media looks, she's getting brand deals, she's getting everything. Now on just a one-off, sindio? And then the guys who've been like, you know, the grind. The rap damus of them all.
So there was a conversation that was happening in a group that I'm in for the househeads community, part of the househeads community in Kenya. And there's a DJ from SA who's very, very angry and bitter that this babe is out there making it. So he initiated this conversation in the group, and he was like, nowadays, at the Uncle Waffles, show skin to win. And I'm like, first of all, the baby is 22. Okay?
Anajibamba. She's
dressing like any other 22-year-old. And second, she's talented and she's very beautiful. So if the odds worked for her,
you can't blame a nigga.
The nigga has been a DJ for years. He hasn't popped yet. Like anajulikana, yes, but like not to Uncle Waffles criteria or level. So he tried to be like, oh, you know, nowadays women in SA are doing just more than having talent. And I'm like, listen, this narrative is there in this industry in general. And first of all, the fact that it exists doesn't mean that it's true. Okay? This babe alibahatika. Like ilikuwa tu in Kiswahili tunasemanga ni kama zare yako imefika. Zare ni bahati, like your turn. Yeah. Ama zamu ama zare. So kama zamu yako imefika. And there's nobody who can do shit about it. And it is what it is. Like, udem ameomoka na ameomoka. Oh, mse amekuwa in the game for like what, 15 years? Nobody gives a shit about what he does.
What? 15 years?
Yeah. 10 to 15, who knows?
And accounting CV.
As in, you get what I'm saying? So it's...
There's two ways to look at that, right? Because I believe time and chance happens to everyone.
Yeah. Right. That's very true.
I also believe like you can do everything, right? Everything.
Still fail.
And not even fail, like you don't get to where.
Okay, yeah. No. You can, the plan can be perfect, lakini the outcome haitakuwa kwenye ulikuwa umeplan for.
Exactly.
Yeah, ni kweli.
And I think that's where maybe now who you are helps, like who you are inside. So either you're able to iterate, which just means to quickly change to something else. If this thing is not working for you, or to find something else. Yes. So that you're not beholden to bitterness. And because you see that a lot with the creative scene where I don't know if it's there in banking, but I know also like if you have friends who are lawyers, they'll tell you how the older lawyers really hate on the younger guys. So I think the music industry is similar to law in that sense. And I don't know if farmers are like that. Your maize is better.
He's the only person who can answer us.
Mimi natoka Marsabit. Kuna shamba wapi Marsabit?
Yes, in a pastoralist. Pastoralist wa kitambo, they don't
there's
hate
no
on
water
them.
there. That sounds like malice.
Pray for my camels.
statistically-
Pray for my camels. Inakufa. I need more.
So I think it's now who you are as a person.
Yeah, that's very important.
And then like what drives you. Like as she said, someone was chilling, the right place at the right time. Because she had put in some work.
Yeah.
She popped.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
The Kenyan comedian, the one who lives in SA, what's she called?
Elsa.
Elsa
The same
Majimbo.
thing.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Right? She blew up cause
Just one video.
a lot of us were in the house.
Mm-hmm.
COVID helped because there's more attention. You guys had nothing to do.
Yeah.
A video, she popped.
Yeah.
She posted a video, went
Right.
viral in SA. That was it. Like
Right.
next thing you
That
know,
was it.
she's now in the US chasing
Yo.
that bag.
She's having chats with Rihanna. Rihanna is like, Atio, we're going to live in this apartment together. What?
Yeah, so
Girl.
for me,
And
I'm
Miriana
like,
kiniambia hivyo.
and I'm like, but then now if you look at the other way around, over COVID, a lot of like the gatekeepers who either couldn't iterate quickly or who were so used to their way of doing, guys lost their bags. You saw Ellen, the biggest talk show host,
Yes.
Yep.
completely imploded.
Yeah.
But like I think it was the
Right.
culmination of just a very long period of her treating people badly.
Yeah, but you see,
Yeah, at the end of the day, she couldn't
there's
adapt.
been a huge cultural shift.
Yeah.
Even here,
Mm.
curfew was lifted, what, a week, 8 days ago,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
But in those 18 months, I can say, without a shadow of a doubt, the guys we've been consuming, at least the creators, consistently, since maybe November last year, didn't exist before COVID.
True.
You know how scary that is?
But like on
That's very true.
like especially on my IG, the people I look at.
The weather entertainment, so sometimes it may be that dinosaur and meteorite thing. There's shit that survived.
Yeah.
Then there's shit that got extinguished
yeah.
because
Actually,
either you
Because of
didn't
the shift.
adapt or
Yeah.
a shift, like something so monumental happened.
Yeah.
I was
'Cause
listening
for
to
me,
a
the
podcast
lockdown
today.
was the best thing that ever happened.
You see, for you it was the best thing,
Ever.
but
Ever.
I know kuna
Watu
Kuna
wako nje.
watu
old school DJs
are like, who?
like
this?
their lives ended.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like even now you can't
We've
come
had the discussion before. Yeah, there are DJs who like they couldn't adapt to the lockdown,
Yeah.
and now they're out here running the market for DJs who could
Yeah.
because they're taking like pesa throwaway
Throwaway
money.
Versus was started by a producer, two producers, and now it's the biggest bag of their
Ever.
lives.
Yeah,
I was
Ever.
watching an interview of theirs, and they're like, who would have thought everything we've done in our lives
couldn't match up to this
would lead us to
To
this,
this.
moment.
Timberland and
Swiss.
and
Swiss
Swiss.
Beats,
Like
yeah.
now they became like now they're moguls.
Mm.
You
And
see,
they-
it's that thing they quick, and those guys are their 50s.
Yeah.
And they've been in the game for so long, you wouldn't believe that. What, like 25, almost 30 years later, is when now they'll be like, this is now your magnum opus. This is the
Yeah.
biggest thing you
This
could
is
ever
the
do.
biggest thing,
Yeah.
and so now it's that thing. So you see, there's guys who lost work, but two guys who are chilling in the house, they're like, you know what, let's do this. Well, this is a thing for this DJ does a thing called pass the mic.
Provoke.
No,
Wait,
the
DJ.
American guy.
Artistic, am I?
Yeah, it's like
Not
verses,
artistic.
but you sing over your song.
Okay, I did not know
DJ
that.
Cassidy, I think. It's a guy from back in the day, from the 2000 and early 90s. He has a platform just the same way. So I think it's, if you're older, how do you quickly adapt?
Mm.
Me, I've been fortunate enough to listen at the beginning to a lot of older people than me.
Mhm.
But when I turned 30, I started listening to younger people and surrounding myself with younger people. Because there's a book by Richard Branson.
Yeah, niggas
Called-
read on this podcast, by the way.
Msisome tu WhatsApp.
Yeah, niggas read on this podcast.
Bible verses.
Msisome
Don't.
tu rada.
Some tu WhatsApp
there's-
medical
there's,
wapi.
Nasoma rada.
So there's Nani's
Yeah.
first book.
Read book.
Is it not Screw It, Let's Do It for Richard Branson? It's either that one or Losing My Virginity, where he talks about the Virgin brand has always been younger guys.
Mhm.
Always. Like anything that we saw him doing, whether you're skydiving, Nini, he says none of that came from him. None of that. I was like, wow. How, like none, anything that you saw was a carefully organized photo op by people who are 15 years, 20 years younger than him. He just told them, I want to revitalize my brand. I started it off because, Virgin started from a record store.
Yeah.
Right? And now became
this whole big thing,
I guess, going now to the moon in space. But he said the only way he has survived from the financial crash to all these other big things that wipe out big corporations, he said, listen to the younger guys. For me, that's what I took. I knew at one point there'll be younger producers coming. Said, Rix, Magic Senga, there's so many Cash Kid.
Ivy on the way.
Ivy on the way.
What's a
But
digital version.
Track yako ya kwanza mimi nitakudu adlibs.
Kwanza nitakutumia a remix I did for you guy. Tell me what you think.
So if you don't sense it,
Azinapa hivi si tuzime kamera basi watu wamalize biashara.
So if you don't adapt, I was fortunate enough to have Suzanne in my life. Then later on, hey, you think we're doing this over here?
Yeah.
On camera.
It is what it is.
It is what it is.
It's a digital world.
So for me, at any given point, the people I worked with were always way older than me. That's the reason you guys think I'm very old. But they were all way older. Suzanne's 20 years, my first boss 30 years, Eric 10 years. So I was always the child with very older people.
Okay.
Right? But
so you're the one who was putting them on?
No, it's them. They put me on cause they realized something. They're like, yo, come. And for me, just like that DJ, she's saying, happened to be at the right place at the right time with some skills.
That's true.
That allowed older people to put me on. Right?
Are you putting on younger people now?
Bro.
Shake my hand. Shake my hand. Niko happy. One of my favorite phrases, when you make it to the top floor, it's your job to send the lift down. Like,
send the rope down, send the lift down.
Usikule mbele na ukauko juu gatekeeping because you are 3,000 followers in 2009. But let's not talk about that. I myself distracted.
No, nilikuwa natuma hiyo nini.
Oh, hey.
I work fast.
You work fast?
I don't play. I work fast.
Hey, we don't.
When you're given opportunities, just
Ambio sana.
Size hapa niko at the right place at the right time. The right person.
So that. I think for me that's it. Where how fast do you quickly adapt? In 2018, 2019, someone told me, hey, this music thing, maybe do more video, let's do such an agency, you're good with people.
Yeah. I
happened to listen. I could have easily told them F off.
Mimi
najijua. But that's why I ended up surviving COVID.
I'm going to ask you a question.
So it's that thing for how quickly do you adapt and how quickly do you listen to people who are not yourself.
Right.
Because another scary thing of being very good at what you do is ego.
Hubris.
Oh, yes.
Hubris. Why
would I listen to someone who's younger than me? Like, fuck, what do you know?
Yeah.
Ni kweli by the.
Yeah.
Ulikuwa na swali hivi?
Yes, nilikuwa na swali. In your experience, I mean, Kenyans are really talented. Kenyan artists in general, whether you're a musician, photographer, whatever. But now I want to speak on the musicians because we've had this conversation for the longest time as Kenyans that Kenyans don't have a sound. And I feel like you and the older people, Kina Siox, Kina Nini, you guys really shaped the Kenyan sound.
Thank you.
And I feel, and I actually, we do have Kenyan sound. It's just that people are not keen on the elements of Kenyan sound.
I think for me, where the Kenyan sound conversation is, if you would have asked me this question in my 20s, I'd have said something very different. In my early 30s, till now where I'm at the point for, I'm driven solely, there's a show I was watching called, my memory fails me at this age now. Orphan Black, where the guy said, us guys follow the science. Like one person, like we're no longer, the older you get, it's just not the fact.
Yeah.
So as far as the Kenyan sound goes, science right now tells me more than ever across all media, whether it's music, video, we are consuming our own.
Yes.
Yeah, we are actually.
Yeah.
In a way that is so good, where now it has started that thing that you see in established markets for industries feeding off each other.
Yeah.
A Kenyan filmmaker will use a Kenyan guy to score, will use a Kenyan, in like the whole industry. is the whole entertainment industry is morphing into something that looks more established.
Yeah.
Which is why now when you look at a billboard, you see now we have the advantage of hindsight, right?
Yeah.
You guys don't know there's a time where, forget even music, even voiceovers are commercials zinafanywa na wazungu. You guys don't know that.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah.
Think it was it.
Right? Or guys who are like us who sounded very British.
Okay.
Right?
What were you saying? What
Wow.
those times?
No
Milan.
Phoenix
What-
players.
what-
Like
what
you
those
heard
times?
another accent, yeah. Horsewhipping and chariots.
Hey, wait,
You're
wait.
kidding, yeah, my
Yeah.
master.
But yes,
Master,
but
please.
that's imagine. So even music didn't even exist. Guys were doing music just for vibes. But we're at a place where my kids and their peers, they are stars, whether it's film, TV, everywhere, they're Kenyans. So for me, the conversation about a Kenyan sound, it's curious. When I was younger, like passionate about it, but now when I'm older because of time and just now seeing what is happening on the ground.
Yeah.
Right? It's me who is booking guys for Hennessy, for what?
Yeah.
My job is not only to produce, it's me who is sliding into guys' DMs and I'm like,
You're booking Paul for Hennessy.
I like your stats.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, send me your media kit.
So you would book. Ndakutumia media kit by the way.
I said it on the space the other day.
Mhm.
Like a lot of the people who are making the are all on Twitter, but guys, I think these things are jokes. The last two Hennessy's, I was A&R. How did I find the people on Twitter?
Oh,
I
was
put
that
up
Sci Farmer?
tweets. Yeah, the two.
That was fire,
yeah.
man. That was dope.
And then the thing is, where did I get? I just put up guys slid up into my DMs. There's guys who are, I like hip hop, but I don't know who's popping. But I know there's, if I go to Osama's, him is a hardcore hip hop person. If I go to this person,
Yeah.
guys send me things. So people are getting booked off. So we've built an ecosystem that is working. There's a space last week about Gengeton.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
guys have no, that is my ringtone.
I'm not even removing that by the way. I'm not doing
That's been my
that.
ringtone for like maybe the last 15 years.
Text, mwambie uko
Yeah.
busy. Mwambie niko.
So, I'll mute it. So, I mean, as far as the Kenyan sound, the simple answer is the data disputes it. At any given, whether you go to weddings, and I think it's a very urban Nairobi,
Thing.
Kilimani, Ngong Road, with the conversation from what is a Kenyan sound,
Yes.
right? But if I go to South B or to even over here, Kimau, no one is asking, guys are just standing up, is some dope or is it shit?
Yeah.
If I go to Ngong, which is in Kajiado,
You know, I had.
Yeah.
no one is asking, is this a Kenyan sound? Watu kwa ground are like,
Wanajibamba.
is this song good?
Or is this song bad?
Even
Is this song bad?
even in Mombasa now, the only biased thing in Mombasa is bongo because of the coast, because of TZ. But when they're jamming to local music, it's purely Kenyan
Yeah.
and bongo.
I mean, they'll jump to both because
Yeah,
of
you know,
cultural
influence.
nini.
Yeah.
But kwa ground,
Kenyan music is supreme.
everywhere. Like, just go to TikTok. Like,
By the way, ukienda TikTok unapata tu ngoma za Kenya. Enda
whether
Islando, is Gengeton.
it's whether it's like if you go to guys from Buye,
Yeah.
Ngoma Zao, which is dope. If you go to Kisumu, it's which is good for the entire ecosystem.
Last week when we hosted Mayonde, we were talking about how some of the structures in the industry have failed the artists, and that is why a genre like Gengeton is not performing as
As expected.
because
That's bullshit, but continue.
let me tell you the structures. Yeah, the one very specific thing was that you see artists have not cultivated the culture of training themselves to be professional. You see, especially with Gengeton. We have attended Gengeton. You remember the Gengeton
Hey,
event you
Maze,
attended?
I
And
don't
how
think
poorly
nimeenda
planned it
event
was.
mbaya in my life.
And how poorly planned, how poorly organized even the artists themselves were.
Nilikuwa natoka 4
And I'm
like not even the main act, like somebody in the undercard anaingia 4. Me, I'm living at home like sasa. But I can't blame that on the artist really.
Yeah,
Even the
it's
promoter
not
pia
on the
kuna
artist.
issue.
You see that strictly speaking is an issue for the promoter.
Yeah, it's a
not
Yes.
the artist.
Now my question is, even now with the artists themselves, do we have like agencies or structures like that offer professionalism classes, like how to handle
Or
yourself.
just mentorship, just mentoring the artist.
Yes,
Like,
mentorship.
now you're big, you've gotten 3 million views YouTube.
Yes,
Sindio?
now
Umehit.
what?
Umehit, sasa umetoa ngoma ya pili.
Eh.
I mean, now you're a star. You're not just like a one hit wonder, you're a star now. Sasa now you always come to a ghetto forever. Like
Yeah,
that's true.
unaenda ukipanda bei, unajua.
Yeah.
So now, do we have those structures in place? Like,
I mean,
like
this
that?
answer is like it's very nuanced, and by that I mean I find there's a lot of privilege and classism that comes when people are talking about gangeton.
Oh yeah, for sure. Oh my god.
And it infuriates me because a lot of the people who have an opinion about it, there's some classism. And for me, I want to call out bullshit by saying, so you have everything. You, what have you done? Show me your views.
Yeah.
Then show me your bank account.
Yeah.
Like, that sounds like such a horrible thing to say. But at the end of the day, this is both how I am as a person, but also the business. Because even before any manager or agency works with you, they'll ask you 2 questions. Show me your attention. How do we measure attention? Views, nini, social media stats,
reach.
all those things. Reach. Then secondly, if those things are dope, how do your billings and bookings look like? Right? So now, the people with the highest numbers and the better bookings are the gangeton ones. So why the fuck would they take advice from someone? Fine, their gigs they may be a bit gritty, right? But that represents
Who they are.
Yeah. Have you guys not watched hip-hop documentaries of where hip-hop came from? Music of the struggle, and will always have some brutishness about it. Have you guys not watched reggae documentaries from the 70s and 60s? Anything that comes from uko chini will have some crime. Right?
Yeah.
So for me, I think the larger conversation about gangeton here, and even that's why last week, if you guys listened to our space, I was just moderating. I got the managers. The managers are there, very many.
Oh yeah, ni kweli.
There are many. There's a Black Market Records that's funding everyone. So the structures are there, but maybe because guys are not from the scene, they don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
Because you are a neo soul, Afro-future, whatever, Afro-fusion artist, you see, you look at it from the outside, and be a bit controversial. You're slightly jealous that you're losing gigs.
Yes.
Right?
Well, actually, I've never considered that. Still consider the fact that from product kama Ali, like.
So you'll go into quality or nini, their gigs are not whatever. But see, you know everything. Why you not doing it for yourself?
Yeah, why are you not doing well? Why are you struggling to
But
push your album?
Wow, that's a very safe career because he's jealous out here.
All you become for me, I'm just driven by the data. Who has the attention?
And why?
It has opened up. I'm going to clubs, stand at the background. What are the DJs playing? They're playing 2 kinds of music: gangeton and amapiano.
Yeah.
Right? So I'm finding a lot of the people who have something negative to say about that are the ones who are not in those 2 genres.
That's true.
Because at the end of the day, your currency as an entertainer is attention.
Bars!
It's true.
Bars.
So if you're not having the attention, of course you'll have all these things to say. Like either adapt, or as Musao said, Musao is a Boutros' manager.
Yeah.
Niaje wakati wako umeisha.
Go home and be a family man.
Exactly. That's what he said on the space. And guys
be a
were
family
upset.
man.
And it's true.
Yeah.
Just accept you've done your part. Tutakupatia nini MBS, elder of the something, and keep it moving.
End of the
for me,
radio
I think
chats.
the whole conversation about gangeton or nini, for me there's so much privilege and access that's steeped into it that I'm disagreeing with, because the numbers don't add up.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Nyashi's song with Chris Kaiga is close to 10 million views. Bro, one jam. That's big anywhere in the world.
Last year I was talking about
Right?
gangeton, and I was telling people, guys were saying like
One
gangeton is dying.
song. One song. That's one song. That's like all the Afro R&B songs combined. Then you multiply it times 3, and each of them get a best
Yeah,
friend.
so-
Because they have like what maximum of 6K views.
6K, 10K.
Yeah.
Like, we celebrate when we get 25K views. So
last year I wrote something about
That's
how
rough.
Gengeton isn't dying. A lot of people are saying like, oh, where are the kina nani, kina ethic, kina nani, why are they doing their numbers like before? Sindio? And I wrote something like where I said that it isn't dying, it's evolving. It's moving on to its next phase. So a lot of the time the people who came in first, when that shift happens, some of them might not be able to adapt to the next phase. That's why like 2 years ago everybody loved ethics, sindio?
yeah.
What is the guys called? I was sailors with call and response, whatever. They're making like they're still doing good.
They're on billboards.
Yeah,
no, they're on Coke.
They're still
Coke
doing
Studio.
really good,
Yeah.
but they're not. If you're looking at their metrics as before, they're not doing as good as they used to. But now,
Yeah.
there's now new people who are doing the same numbers they used to do back then. Like
Yeah.
Buzigan came
Music
in.
has come in, like,
Yeah.
and that's, I mean, popular, anything that's easy to do, because you see the reality is Gengeton is very, like, barrier to entry
Yeah.
is very low,
Ah,
right?
Yeah.
Kila mtu anaweza fanya hiyo
Because
shughuli.
they're already part of the culture. Because Gengeton is a culture. It's
Exactly.
it's a culture. It's where it represents where you're from. It's like reggae.
Mm.
You know, you either relate to the struggle or something close to that. So
Yeah, so for me, I'm just like, look at Polaris. One song, she's on a billboard.
yes.
I mean,
shout out Polaris.
Shout
Season
out to
2
Polaris.
I mean, she's really good people. And
She's a
3.
star.
Yeah. Season 2,
it's so
episode 3.
interesting. We go for interviews with her, and guys are like, "Hey, new artist," and me, I'm like,
New?
Jesus, no.
New.
But you see, to the market,
Yeah.
He's
she's
new.
I
Niggas don't
hate
know
that.
Monarchy.
Honestly,
They don't know
They don't know Monarchy,
Q,
they don't know
Nini,
Q,
but
they
you
don't know
see,
anything.
I
you
hate
go
that.
with a larger number,
Yeah.
That's true. That's true.
right?
Yeah.
One song, she's
Shout
on a
out Polaris.
billboard. What does that tell you? So of course, these guys were upset. You know, I'm like, you know what?
Nah.
My son will tell you I'm not a slide kwa embe, cause like
Jendo kaslide kwa nini?
kwa embe.
Laula.
He started saying
Severe
that.
pain.
I was
See
like-
your pain.
Yeah.
Like-
Anyway.
and I think that is just a way of looking at life. And it was a thing that was like she saw someone's tweet for Oya putting together a
Yeah.
compilation record.
Yeah.
In overnight, everything changed for her. So I think here's that place where you need to ask yourself. I mean, we're talking about music a lot, but it's the same thing
For
for
all creative spaces.
for creatives,
Uh-huh.
right? Somewhere it's the butterfly effect. Somewhere in SA, a Kenyan called Elsa laughed collard crisps. 6 months later, Trevor, the mentalist, was shooting her, and Naomi Campbell,
In
Malindi.
yeah.
I'm like,
It's crazy how she
how that's weird.
She
Because
has
Trevor was chosen because he's like a kick-ass.
Photographer.
photographer.
Like
yeah.
his work is world class.
Mm.
And that's now where now you're seeing, even now if you go into photography politics, there's the old guard who are like, you young upstarts, you don't know what it means to work with your camera in the mirror for 10 years. Like, who
cares, man?
cares?
Who the fuck cares, man?
Right?
No,
There's this meme. Oh,
So,
Simpsons, Old Man
Nash,
Shakes Fist of
Nash the
Cloud.
same. Nash illustrated something.
Oh
Nash
yeah.
Omai.
Nash
Yeah.
Omai, yeah.
Sekina Serena Williams or Oya. So wow, illustrate for us this thing. It's that thing about seizing
The
the
opportunity.
opportunities,
Yeah.
and there's hundreds of stories like that in the last 9 months, accelerated by the interconnectivity that came with COVID. So I think if you're a creator right now, you have this right here. Everyone's phone nowadays can do dope things.
But I saw a tweet today about how like Canvas changed the game. You could create just on your phone. Oh, on a random. Remember when we were with Mwirigi? He said he shot his first video on an Infinix. His first ever video he shot like for car content. He shot on Infinix. Na sasa pale amefika.
Mwirigi, we on a Telegram group with him for like Manadi things, nerd stuff. I remember when we used to do videos, there'd be 5 views, 10 views on YouTube. This is way back.
Hold up. We'll discuss that after the music break.
Break. Yes.
So it's time for Ivy to do her thing.
Approximately 10 hours later.
We are back from the music break. I hope you all enjoyed that. And yeah, please like, subscribe, and share.
All that good shit. Share, follow Ivy's private YouTube like
Yeah,
Yake.
yeah.
The what's it called? I forget the
Rush
name.
Hour.
The Rush Hour is
Actually,
amazing.
Yeah, the Rush Hour is a series
Or
of
you meant
mixes.
personal, not private.
Private person. Yeah, yake.
Personal, yeah.
Yeah,
Like personal
private
page.
was like.
Yeah.
I'm saying Kisungu ilikuja na meli, please.
No, attention to detail. That's what it's called. Yeah.
Okay.
So anyway, follow me, follow us, follow him on his
On
Instagram.
IG 1,000 followers. Throw bash.
Follow Tim. I don't know if he needs followers, but just follow him.
I just need M-Pesa 0728.
Unapea namba yako hapa. Utapata nilikuwa na
stalkers.
podcast ulikuwa unakaa vizuri.
I dreamt of you.
So you compose a song about me. Speaking of composing songs,
Yes.
what's the best song you've ever made, like composed, produced, hata kusaidia kuandika? What's the one song ulikuwa hapo ukasema yes,
But
this
then
is it?
do you write songs as well?
Yeah.
Nice.
I like the work we did with Fee. That was really dope.
Like Times are Taboo.
Taboo.
Oh.
Like what we did with Naiboy.
Ah.
What tuinua nama usipime wanaume.
Usipime.
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 Oh.
Hey.
Usipime wanaume.
End of the music.
I still hear it in the club. I'm like, yo. And you know that song was a dare.
For real?
That's how I got to know Naiboy. We were somewhere. He's like, we kwanza umekuwa mzee huwezi fanya ngoma. Like, is that so?
Hey.
Ala.
That's how the conversation like.
So ilikuwa asikupime wewe.
Hey.
Ai.
Basically, the whole song is about you. Hata si
I'm like, this nigga
King
right
shit.
here.
King
I'm like,
shit.
kwanza utanilipa, but you'll give me all the master rights.
You want the master rights? This nigga's getting paid.
This nigga's
Umse,
getting
akapo
money.
cheka na sisi kumbe anapata residuals.
So umemwachia royalties ukachukua masters.
No, I mean, we worked something out, but it ended up creating something dope because, and it was also a challenge for me. I was like, can I still do a song for a different generation of people? And then the song works without me using my deep stateness to push it. I'm like, let's use this as a
So kwanza kuja as in umejita deep state, like
We entertain
sijaisikia
No, but
mtu
like-
anajita deep state.
But
I
like
love
ni-
it.
But like ni ukweli.
I love it. You know, I love how you can just mean deep state. Mtadu nini? I
But
love
ni
it.
ukweli. as in,
Utafanya
say
nini?
deep
We
state.
push it up. Me and a couple of others. Like,
I
it's
love
true.
Yeah, it
You know,
is. It
for
is.
me, it's true, yes, but I love the fact that aufichi una modesty.
Afiche
Mimi
kwa-
deep state.
afiche kwa nini?
Kuna watu ni modest huku
So
nje.
I think that then there's like a stuff like over time, over these 20 years, I've done so many things. Like the work we did with Eric. I've done so many different things. I like the new work that we're working on with Polaris. There's an EP that we're working on. So I think at any given point, it's just the joy of working with different creators.
Right.
The biggest that's numbers wise,
Mhm.
the biggest song I've ever done is the song I hate the most
Gani?
because it's never. I think it's played like 2 Gs,
What?
Gani?
and it's played at every wedding.
Which one's from
Sura
here?
yako?
Mugithi ya Kayamba Africa.
No way, Jose.
Yeah.
How?
It was started by a producer called what is it called? Manudu Digital Ambrose.
Ala.
Hata mimi nashtuka.
Then he walked off the project.
But yeah,
Me, I was a 22-year-old, was employed to produce anything.
I remember you used to make jingles.
Yeah, jingles,
Yeah.
right? So my boss was like, there's a group called Kayamba Africa. Sit there and finish their
La
songs.
haula.
La haula indeed.
Every wedding I go to where there's people from...
Hata dunda sisi.
That
the young-
exactly.
Yeah.
That's
Actually,
you.
your royalties in Kenya. I'd be in a...
Not
in
here.
In a bed made of Maybachs. I wouldn't be here.
I appreciate it.
No, I'd be here. You're young.
Hey,
Send the
man.
rope down.
I
Exactly.
feel like
So
do you
as far as
feel-
numbers wise, like, and it's so weird when I go and I'm like, I'm tired. And I used to have the sessions.
Tim, do you think that that'll change the royalties situation?
So here is the weird thing again, looking at the data. You know, for me, I look at the data, right? Only 2 countries with like a robust, like actual streams, royalties, nini, on the continent. Need SA and Kenya.
What?
Walai.
You imagine?
And all of because even SA wanalia shit. Juzi I saw Prince KP saying
Imagine, like I'm saying, like now, the system, which is PROs, which is those organizations collect lawyers, meaning it's a whole ecosystem of thousands and thousands of people, right? Other African countries are coming here and are going to SA to study.
Wanakuja kubenchmark huku.
Imagine. And then I think that's the thing about the impatience of youth. You see, when you're comparing yourself to the States or the UK or Europe, always remember the entertainment ecosystems are 600 years old, 400 years old. Like, that's how old that shit is. Publishing came because of printing presses, mziki in the 1600s. So, the whole record label, all those things, their ecosystems are hundreds of years old, right? So why would you do that to yourself? Maybe even that model doesn't work for. That model imploded, right? A lot of the things that they're doing now is closer to what we're doing now.
Yeah.
Africans are the ones who pioneered the singles only market.
Wow.
Right? It's when it's a big loud. Guys are not releasing albums. Everyone's doing
singles. Yeah, I've noticed that as well.
But before then, it was you first release a record.
Yeah.
Then from the record,
you pick singles.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I think there's a lot of hybrid solutions, but so for me, I'm guided by the data. It could be better. I'm not saying we're at an excellent place. But there's what I like right now about the ecosystem here is there's non-entertainers jumping in. Bankers, investors, lawyers, people who have a bag of change and they want to make a difference. That's what builds the ecosystem. Guys who are like, I'm tired of washing my money through matatus.
Yeah.
And drugs, right? I'm like, bring it. Let me look at the camera. Bring it.
Tim is here.
Focus.
Like, it's true. Or real estate. Like, what do you think the entertainment industry is?
Yeah.
Around the world, it's just you need someone with the money.
Oh yeah.
To dish it out. Make shit work.
Yeah. Banking was started by guys washing slavery money. So if you actually read your history, you realize there's no point there's no clean money.
Atujui vitu kunje kumbe.
Right?
Atujui vitu.
Hujakula chumvi.
The ancestors
of
your big banks, I want you guys to get back, so I want to mention them. Your big global banks were here. Pesa ilitoka wapi? Sini slavery, right? But now
hata tushazijua.
No, personally,
slavery or
not mentioning any names.
Like,
yeah,
right?
Okay.
Oops. Mimi sijasema bank ya mtu.
Oops.
Okay? We are pure and give them the sponsorship.
Muskia?
Yes.
Right?
You know what? You don't tell the listeners how to, like, they already sponsor us.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. Go tell your brands. Go tell Hennessy, like, we are open for a bag.
We'll talk after this.
We'll talk after this, Indio. Go tell the people you're working
I'll
with.
represent you guys.
Oh yeah.
What I'm liking about where we are now is there's people who like content, music, film, meaning who want to invest, and that is what has made the TZ scene, the Tanzanian scene grow. The South African one, the SA one, the Ghana one, West Africa. So it's not even necessarily that the Gava came in, right? It's people who are a banker, I'm a tech investor. Like, this music thing looks like it's legitimate. Or this film thing looks like it's legitimate.
Yeah.
This DJing thing looks like it's legitimate.
That's weird because that's how
let me pack my money.
That's how we literally got this face. Because somebody came up to us like, yo, like, I have a space, I have a crew. I like what you're doing. This shit looks like it'll work.
Shout out to Bukachi.
Shout out to Bukachi. Shout out to Sed. Shout out to everybody. Shout out to D. Shout out to everyone.
That's the thing. And then now you as guys, as the creatives, when you get that opportunity, don't fuck it up.
Yeah.
Because
that's a very important statement.
Yeah.
When someone puts money in you,
Manze,
the
least you could do is just do your best.
By the way, that's one of the hardest things people don't know. People are
whether it's someone who has given you an introduction, go see that person.
Yeah.
Like,
if
someone is going to invest their time, then later on their money, the least you can do is be a professional. So I think I'm liking where we're going now, where the non-entertainers are being approached by the guys in the background. And that is very good because the people in the background are able to change your laws. They're able to, I know there's a bank who is about to launch a lending thing for creatives.
Oh.
You understand?
Wow.
Like, I heard that and someone just mentioned it to me. I was like, thinking I knew. Right?
Deep state.
Right? And I'm like, yeah, I've heard about it. I'm like, oh, shit. But the fact that the things that I used to see in magazines or when I'd travel and see a bank that just targets musicians. This one, they target filmmakers. This one, like your collateral is your intellectual property or
That's
your
so
script.
good. That's
so
so
dope,
good.
man.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
The fact that there's people thinking like that is glorious. But always remember, all these things have happened in a very short span of time. Maybe if COVID didn't come, no one would have.
All this.
All this is
Thought
cause
about it.
attention. Right now, the currency is attention. So everyone has realized the old ways of selling product don't work. And you guys are the ones who are selling.
Yeah.
So monetize that attention. Like, take that bag and run. Give them your
Umesikia?
money.
Hey,
Like
brands.
for everyone who's because a lot of creatives listen to our podcast. That's like something. Leo drop gems like kama Salt Bay. And unfortunately tumefika mwisho episode.
Ame overdo, but
Ame
I
overdo.
overdo vizuri.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming, Tim.
It was a pleasure.
Umechocha mafans, umetuchocha sisi. Acha tuongea kando hizi vitu zingine zote.
Yeah.
Guys, thank you so much for listening, tuning in, YouTube, kila mahali. Again, share, like, all those good things. Yeah, si mnazijua.
Share, like, subscribe.
All those good things.
Share again and again
Yes.
and again and again.
Tumia nyanya yako. Hata kama kuna kabambe ataipata somehow. Alafu, you know, all the good things down here. Thank you so much again, Tim, for coming
Thank
through.
you guys for having
This has
me.
been episode 5, season 5.
Ta-da!
We'll catch you guys in the next one.
See you guys. Peace.